Hello, my name is Rodney. I am from the pOedGamerQuehegan YouTube channel, and today I am going to be going over another issue of my gaming memories. And today we're going to talk about something I called the Xbox One for a very long time, and that is the original Xbox. This is my original Xbox that I bought when it came out. I did not get the initial release of it. I got it maybe, I don't know, a few weeks after they got a second shipment in, and I bought mine on a credit card. So, this is the story. One, I got a credit card for emergency use only, essentials. And I go to Best Buy, and, well, they didn't have any of them. They didn't have any Xboxes. I started to call it the Xbox One again, but they didn't have any of them. So I was like, oh crap. So go home. I don't know, maybe this next weekend, maybe 2 weeks later. I'm on the internet looking, like, man, when is another one gonna come out? And I see that they're supposed to get a shipment in. I'm like, I ain't got the money to buy one. So I go there at like 8 p.m. I mean, it's like not long before they're closing, and there's a guy pushing a cart out that has them stacked up on it. And I'm like, oh, my brother's with me. And he's like, just get one, just get one. And I was like, I don't have the money. He's like, you got a credit card? You just got a credit card. Well, we can play it tonight. And I'm like, oh man. And I picked the box up and I carried it around. I carried carried it around in the store for a while. And there's people like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? And I'm like, they just put them out. And there's a mad that you could saw people just lined up getting, like, I think they sold out of all the ones they put out. I think they had like 12 or something like that, maybe 8. I can't remember. It was not many, but it was just like he just had this on the trolley that he's pushing out there. He had a few of them on it, and I was like, screw it, I'm getting it. So I got it, took it home, and in all honesty, I don't even remember the first game I had. I mean, this right here, this is the DVD remote. This was my DVD player for a very long time. This here, you just plugged it into the 4th controller port. I don't know if it worked if you plugged it into any of them. I'm not sure. I just always plugged it into the 4th because I never had 4 people to play an Xbox with. But I remember playing Cell Damage, and I remember playing Halo and all those games. They were awesome. I mean, they just completely blew me away. I love this thing. I love what people call the Duke controller. I've got one. Here we are. This is the controller that came with it. I love this thing. I love how it feels in my hand. I love how big it is. My finger, I have really big hands. So that's one of the reasons why I liked it. The 6 buttons in the front, you had the white and black one here. You had the triggers, and you had 2 memory card slots. You had the thing here. This is for your voice communication. When I first got mine, I did not have Xbox Live. I don't know if Xbox Live was out yet or not, but I don't think I didn't have broadband at the time. I think I said just dial up. But when I got broadband, I got Xbox Live. And if you look at my like on my Xbox One, it tells you how long you've been a subscriber to Xbox Live. I've been a subscriber to Xbox Live for 13 years. And literally, when I got broadband, it was not long after Xbox Live started, and I subscribed to it. And I've been a subscriber ever since. And I think I actually have the other controller. Yes. Right here. So, this is the second controller they came out with. You can see it is a great deal smaller. This one is a great deal bigger. I love this one. I like a lot better. I love the way it feels in my hands. My hands curl around this thing properly. So when I play it, I always liked it. I never had any issues with it. A lot of people hated that controller. And they love this controller, the smaller one. People call this one the Duke. I can't remember what they call this one. But this one, I'm not a big fan of because I have to, like, my fingers hit this, so I have to kind of angle them down, and the way so it's not right for me. Because I have, like I've said before, I have big hands, and this fits me a lot better. I wish they made controllers like this still. But I remember playing. I mean, I'm not sure how long we stayed up the first night playing games on it. I mean, I was a college student, and so I had all kinds of money. So it was a great time because it came out. There was the PS2 was out. You had this. You had the GameCube. I had all three. I mean, I think I had the other two before I bought. I think this was the last one I bought. And it was so many video games I was playing. I loved it because where I'm from, there was no used game stores. That's the reason why I still have all my video games, because I never traded any of them in because there was no place to trade them in. I didn't even know that was a thing until I came to college. I was like, oh wait, people actually trade their video games in? And I thought it was crazy at that time because I always went back and played my old video games. But with this, I bought these new, and I was like, wow, there's used video games. There's so many used, they're so cheap. Compared to when they're new, I bought like a crap ton of stuff at GameStop. So I remember that time in my life to where you had the Xbox, the GameCube, and the PS2, and all of them were competing with each other, and all of them had great games. No matter what you say about the GameCube, I love it. I love the Xbox. A lot of people hated this console. I played this more than my PS2, and that's no lie. I love the games. I think I have my collection for Xbox is larger than my PS2 collection. I mean, just some of the games on it that were so good. I mean, Cell Damage, I played so long. It was great. I remember Halo. You had Halo 2. Halo 2, yes, was on this. I was trying to think. Halo 3 was on the 360, I believe. But just so many games that I remember just sitting down and playing and just getting immersed in. Like Silent Hill 2, I played on the Xbox. I didn't play it on the PS2. I mean, it's just so much fun. So I think this is one of the consoles that really has got a kind of a bad rap. It didn't sell outside of the United States, it didn't really sell hardly any. In Japan, it was crap. But in America, a lot of people had it. A lot of people liked it. So, like Dead or Alive, holy freaking cow. I've been a fan of Dead or Alive since the original one on the PlayStation. Then Dead or Alive 2 came out. I got the, I believe it was Ultimate. It was the 2-pack. It had like the original and the new one in it, and part 2. And I have all the DOA games. So I'm a huge fan of that series. At one time, I remember I think this is during the 360 era. I think it was DOA 4. I was playing in a match. You could just log in and like people would get to a room and like random people would join and you take turns, just like a queue. The person that wins stay up, and the person that loses goes to the back of the line, the next person in line, and it keeps cycling over. When I was at my highest rank on that game, I think I was in the top 300 people in the world. And I remember joining a room, because I played it a lot. I mean, I played the crap out of that game. And some people like, I'll go into a room and I beat everybody, and then like they get it cycle over and I beat them again. And because you could always hear everybody else talking in the room also. So it's kind of funny because like they're like, oh, dude, he's getting blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, it's trash talking and everything. And one person all of a sudden goes, this guy's like ranked 276th in the world. And like people started dropping out of the room. And I was like, dang it. And like it was really hard because it was hard to get into a room with the highest ranked people because they always didn't play. But it's a really fun game. Actually on this one, this still has my original hard drive in it. I'm really worried that it's going to die soon, so I need to figure out a way to back it up. Because it still has all my old saves on it. Like, oh gosh, what was the game? I think it was the Project Gotham Racing, maybe? Like one of these games that you could put your own music in. So I ripped a bunch of CDs. like Rammstein and stuff like that to this hard drive, so I could listen to them in game. That was, holy cow! Listening to your own CD while like in the game while you're driving the car. That was crazy. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, you can do what? So I did that. This is not modded. This is just original unmodded Xbox. I never modded mine. Holy cow! I'm trying to think of different things and all this. Things I did with this. I mean, it was for many years. This was a source of entertainment for me. Everything from a DVD player to my video game console to, I mean, like, met a lot of friends, a lot of people that I played games with for a long time. Sadly, most of them have gotten. I mean, I'm older now. Most of them have gotten families and went away from it. But I highly recommend this system. If you can find one cheap that works, that's important. A lot of them don't work anymore because, I mean, it's a hard drive and it's like, how many years old now? It's like the same thing. Like, oh, mine does have an issue. The power button has an issue with it. I think this is a known issue with most original Xboxes. When I plug it up, it automatically comes on. The power button doesn't work. I mean, it powers on. You just plug it in, it's on, which is good, so you can still play it. But there's no way to turn it off. You literally have to unplug it. One thing about these that you have to watch out for is some games want you to have an Xbox profile created, like an Xbox Live profile. Well, the Xbox Live service for this console is dead and gone for a long time. So, like, there's some games that want you to play online that you could play online, but to play them you needed an Xbox Live profile, but you can still play offline with it. So you can still play those games. Phantasy Star Online is a prime example. You can still play Phantasy Star Online if you have an Xbox Live profile that signs into your Xbox. If you don't, you can't play it. The only way to do that is to find somebody that has an Xbox that still works and that you can take the profile and put it onto a memory card. You take the memory card, if this was a memory card, you save it to this and you take it to your Xbox, plug it in, and load that profile onto your Xbox, and then you can play those games again. That was one of the things I liked about it, is that you could actually do that. Another thing I really like about this, about the communicator, or whatever they call this thing. One, you had the volume knob on the side, which is great, and you had a mute button that was big. You didn't have to, like, that's the thing about the new consoles. Mute buttons either on the lanyard or on the cord, or they're like on the Xbox. There's a button on this little thing. It's under the controller. You got to hit. I hate that thing because you have to look down to find it. With this, it was like you could stick your thumb up there, and right there it is. You just feel it. It's a big button on it. It's great. And if you had the smaller controller, your thumb even have to travel that far. I mean, it's just like. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of things went bad when they started changing things. Also, I love that the things at the top, the cord comes out the top and not the bottom. Everybody's like, oh, they hate, like they like the cord coming out the bottom. I hate it. The reason why, like my Xbox One has this issue. When you put your controller down, generally you set it down like that. Well, the cord that comes out of the bottom, like I have a chat pad on my, I have to try to remember to throw up an image of it right now. The first thing it hits is that cord coming out of the bottom of it, and mine doesn't work. So I need to get another chat pad. Wait, what? I just spent so much money on this thing, and now it's broken because the jack? Yeah, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so I'm like, great. I'm not going to get one. It just drives me crazy. I know the new ones have the actual port, so you can just plug a pair of headphones into it. The problem is, though, if you want to mute something, you have to like hit the button on the double tap it, brings up a menu, then you can mute it on that. It's like there's no way to just hit that button so you can curse your teammates out or something. But these had another feature. I mean, granted, most controllers aren't corded anymore, but you actually had to worry like it would do that. This would stay in your Xbox, and this would come loose. You wouldn't actually rip your Xbox out because this stayed in pretty snug. You didn't have to worry about ripping your Xbox off your shelf or anything. I've never done that, but I do think that's a kind of a cool feature. This is one of those things like I've never set far enough away from my TV to where doing that was an issue. But I have heard people saying that wouldn't have that had kids at the time that saved their Xbox. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's some video gaming memories from the original Xbox, not the Xbox One. That's what I called this thing for many years, so I still want to call it. I hate calling the new one the Xbox One. I think it's kind of stupid, but the original Xbox, highly underrated. If you had never played it, if you can find one cheap that works, pick it up, pick some games up. I think you'll really like it. And as always, hope you guys enjoyed it, and till next time. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked the video, go ahead and give me a like. If you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I release at least 2 videos a week. Most of the time I release more. Leaving a comment actually helps me a lot. It helps me know what you'd like, dislike, or would like to see on my channel. So go ahead and leave me a comment. If you would like to get in touch with me, have any questions, anything like that, you can go ahead and email me at vmail@pOedGamer.com. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.